All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call Halayim Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Quitash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book. All right, so what I got for you today here is a video of this man, Mr. Beast, all right, which is one of the largest influencers in the world. All right, he has the largest subscriber count in all of YouTube, man. So this man has a very large following, man. All right, a lot of people follow this man, especially these young kids. You know, the people of this generation, the kids of this generation, you know, they're the ones that are very zombified and stupefied, man. They follow this man, you know, they look up to this man. All right. And the elites, they use all of these influencers, these content creators, these celebrities to push forth their agenda, man. All right. And, you know, the Neuralink is leading up to what's known as the mark of the beast in the Bible. All right. Which is the RFID microchip, man. This is all leading up to the RFID microchip. All right. Which is the mark of the beast in the Bible. You understand? All right, the RFID microchip is indeed and for certain and for surety, all right, the mark of the beast, man, the RFID microchip. All right, you have these false prophets that will tell you that the mark of the beast is not the RFID microchip, which the RFID microchip indeed is the mark of the beast, man. All right, and we're going to prove it, we're going to break it down, man. All right, but the prophets have been warning you. All right, how you know these celebrities, you know, these content creators, these influencers, all right, they're all puppets, man. All right, and they're going to be used by the elites to push forth their agenda. All right, and you people, you know, that have no idea what is going on, who have no eye salve, right, are going to willingly line up and take this thing, man. But this is why the prophets are out here, man. To warn the people, but we know only the elect is going to come back, you know, because who we're really warning, all right, is the elect of the nation of Israel, which is you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We know that 1/3 is only going to take heed and listen, man. You know, and we've been warning y'all, man. You know, so we gonna watch this video. Because that's what it's really about, man. All right, preparing like the caption says right here. It says, Mr. Beast just normalized Neuralink to millions. This isn't about helping the disabled. It's about merging humans with machines and AI. It's about preparing society for the mark of the beast. And that's exactly what it is. It's about preparing this world. All right, that's why everything is digital, man. You know, people barely carry around cash anymore, right? They're what is it? Conditioning the people to get used to a digital age, man. You know, everything you do, you pay for it online, right? Everything is online. You know, everything is digital, bro. Everybody carries around credit cards and debit cards, right? Conditioning the people. It's been like that for a hot minute. And that's why all these people that sit in high places, all right, they you know, they're all calling for digital ID, man. These prime ministers, you know, presidents of nations, you know, your politicians, your mayors, all right, your governors, they're all calling for digital ID because they're also puppets to bring forth the agenda of the elites, which is prophecy in the Bible, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. You understand? All right, so I'm going to play this video real quick so you can see for yourself. All right, and like it says right here, it's not about prepare. It says it's not it isn't about helping the disabled. Nah, it really isn't, man. All right, it's about preparing society for the mark of the beast, man. That's what it really is for, man. To get you people living in a digital age for a little while, so you get used to it, you know. So when the mark of the beast is ushered in and made mandatory, you people are not gonna have no problem taking it. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, it's just, you know, another step to excuse me, I had to pause the video for a second, but like I was saying, so when the RFID chip is made mandatory and ushered in, all right, you people are not gonna have no problem taking it. You think it's just gonna be an advancement towards society. You're gonna and be happy to partake in that advancement towards society. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is just, one step toward mankind, or all that with your nonsense, man. And you gonna line up willingly, man, because you don't know what's happening, what's going on. All right, and all you mockers and all you scorners and scoffers, man, all you people that love your white cracker Jesus Christ, y'all gonna line up for that mark of the beast. All right, let me play the video.
Is the most futuristic technology on the planet. But next, we're going with the $10,000 technology, Neuralink, which is a computer chip surgically implanted into the brain, enabling people like Nolan here to reconnect to the world. So you were paralyzed from the neck down.
Let's rewind that real quick.
Is the most futuristic technology on the planet. But next, we're going with the $10,000 technology, Neuralink, which is a computer chip surgically implanted into the brain, enabling people like Nolan here to reconnect.
A computer chip surgically implanted into the brain. All right? Come on, man.
To the world. So you were paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah, and for about 8 years, I was trying to find some purpose in my life.
And then you got Neuralink, and what has that changed?
Anything anyone can do on a computer, I can do.
And he literally does it by using only his brain. You are currently moving that with your thoughts.
Yeah, man.
I want to see you send a text with your brain.
Okay.
His hands are paralyzed, but we're going to film them so you can see they're not moving. And using the neurons firing in Nolan's brain, Neuralink can translate those signals into movements. He just typed.
And this also goes into how Esau Edom, he has a God complex. Esau Edom with his God complex, trying to be like the Most High. Because the Most High can do anything. He can heal you. He can wound you. He can kill you, bring you to life. And Esau Edom trying to be like the Most High. Trying to heal people's brains and all that. You got the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, made certain people disabled. And here comes Esau trying to fix what the Most High did, right? There's a reason why the Lord made that man disabled and his brain all messed up and discombobulated and, for his wickedness, man. But here comes Esau trying to undermine the Most High's judgment. Claiming that he is the Most. He sitteth in the temple of the Most High, claiming that he is the Most High. You see?
High with his mind. Is this not crazy to anyone else? But that's not all he can do. So you just think left and you're about to turn left.
Left, right, don't die.
No!
There we go.
He absolutely crushed us playing with only his mind.
I never thought would allow me to do anything like this.
And future technology can not only help the mind, but also the body.
All right, so you see what's going on, man. All right? So, the reason why I brought out this video, all right, because this is all leading up to what's known as the mark of the beast in the Bible, the RFID microchip that's going to be made mandatory under the punishment of death. All right, the RFID microchip being the mark of the beast. That is what the mark of the beast is, man. All right, the Israelites of Great Millstone and the ones that teaching like Manning are telling you that the RFID microchip is for sure and for certain what the mark of the beast is. All right. Because like the scriptures say, we have a sure word of prophecy. Imagine someone that claims to be a prophet or a servant of the Lord, right? And you ask them what the mark of the beast is, right? And they tell you, oh, I don't know. It might be up for interpretation. No, nigga, we telling you what it is and what it isn't. All right? The Lord gave his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures to his prophets, his servants, man. All right? The prophets of the Lord understand his word and know what it is and what it's talking about, man, and what it's not talking about. All right? Matter of fact, let's get that. Sure word of prophecy, KJV. All right.
The sure word of prophecy in the King James Version refers to 2 Peter chapters 1, verses 19 through 21. It highlights the Bible's reliability, inspired by the Holy Spirit.
All right, let's get it. All right, 2 Peter 1 and 19, it says, we have also a more sure word of prophecy. And what's that prophecy? What's one of those prophecies we're sure of when we teach it and preach it? The mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. We have a sure word of prophecy, a more sure word of prophecy. We're for sure and for certain what the mark of the beast is, which is the RFID microchip. Like I said, imagine somebody claiming to be a prophet or a servant of the Lord, not knowing what the scriptures are talking about. All right? So, we're going to break down what the mark of the beast is, man. All right? So, let's get it. Revelation 13. All right? 16 through 18. And I haven't actually broke it down like this in a hot minute. All right? But I'm always reporting, all right, on digital IDs all the time. All the time. If you follow my videos and go down through my timeline, all right, I'm always reporting on digital IDs and how it's going to lead up to the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. All right. So this is Revelation 13 and 16. It says, and he causes all, both small and great. That he is talking about Esau, man. All right. Because Esau has an agenda. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. Now, when you go into the Greek, the word there for mark is charagma. Now, the reason why you go into the Greek is because when you translate words from their original language to another language, those words lose power. So you got to go back into the original text, the original language, to see what the scriptures are actually saying, right? The New Testament was translated into English from the Greek language. So you go back into the Greek to get better understanding. Because like I said, when you translate words from their original language to another language, the words lose power, man. So you go back into the original text, the original language. When you go into that word there, mark, in the Greek, the word there is charagma. All right? So let's see what that word charagma means. All right? Let's get it. So when you read the scriptures, it says, and he causes, on the right here, it says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. So when you go into that word mark, all right, it's G5480. The word there is charagma. Let's see it.
Strong's G5480. Charagma. Charagma.
All right. So what's the definition of charagma? It says a stamp, an imprinted mark. All right. So a stamp or an imprinted mark, which is going to be imprinted upon your body. Right? Right under that, it says of the mark stand on the forehead or the right hand as the badges of the followers of the Antichrist. Now, you know, there is no one man as an antichrist, like these stupid ass Christians believe. They think a one man, an antichrist is coming, and nah. The word antichrist, when you break it down, it just means against the anointed. Anti meaning against, and Christ coming from the Greek word Christos, which means the anointed. So antichrist means against the anointed. All right, the scriptures say there are many antichrists. If someone is an atheist, that's an antichrist. If someone's a Muslim or a Buddhist or a Catholic or a modern day Christian, that's an antichrist. Because they don't believe in the true Messiah, the true gospel. All right. It says the mark branded upon horses says things carved, sculptured, graven work. You see? But it doesn't stop there. All right. So that was the word charagma. All right. That's the word mark in the Greek. All right. All right. To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. When you go into that word mark, it's charagma, which means a stamp or imprinted mark. All right. But when you go to the root word of charagma, right, the etymology of charagma, it's charax. That's where the word charagma comes from the word charax. All right. Which means what? A pale, like it says right here, a pale or stake, a palisade, which represents the instrument. Because what do you do with a pale or a stake? You stab, right? You stab something. You use that stake or a pale to stab something. All right. That represents the instrument they're going to use to put it in you. You understand? You see? All right. But it doesn't stop there. Let's get the root word of the word charax, the etymology of the word charax. It goes back even further. All right. Which is grapho. All right. Which means to write, with reference to the form of the letters, all right, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment paper, or other material, to write with reference to the contents of the writing, all right, because that's what's going to be on that RFID microchip, writing information. All your information is going to be on it, your ID, who you are. All right, your medical records, your bank account, everything about you is going to be on there. All right. So when you keep going, it says to express in written characters. It says to commit to writing things not to be forgotten. Yeah, because everything is going to be on there. All right. Write down, record. All right. When you go to D, it says to write to one, i.e. by writing. All right, in a written epistle, to give information, direction. All right, it says to fill with writing, to draw up in writing, compose, man. Come on. All right. So let's go back. All right. So it says, all right, let's go back. All right, so it says Revelation 13 and 16, it says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. We already established what that word mark means in the Greek. All right, that word mark in the Greek is charagma, which means an imprinted stamp, a stamp or an imprinted mark. Right? And then we went to the etymology of the word charagma, which means charax, which means a stake or a palisade, which represents the instrument they're going to use to put the charagma in you, the mark in you. And then when you go to the etymology of the word charax, it's grapho, which means writing or information. Because there's going to be a lot of records on the RFID microchip that the elites want to implant under your skin. All right, it says, and that no man, verse 17, I'll read 16 again. It says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. So you're not going to be able to buy or sell anything. You're not going to be able to do anything at all. You're not going to be able to travel, right? You can't go to the grocery store and buy groceries. You won't be able to go to the gym, do many things, man. right? And that's when a lot of you people are going to lose faith, man. All right? You people are going to want to eat, right? Especially those that have children, right? You're going to want to eat and feed your children because you don't want them to starve and die. So you're going to take that mark. Those that don't have this true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this word, of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. All you mockers and scorners and scoffers, those that were warned and rejected this word, right? And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, all right? Or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. Esau, man. All right, Esau, Edom. All right, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, 666. All right, now when you go into the Greek, the word there for 666, right? 666 in the Greek is what? Chi Psi Stigma. All right, let's get it. All right, it says 666. All right, the Strong's is G5516, right? The word there for 666 in the Greek is what?
Strong's G5516. Chi Psi Stigma. Chi Psi Stigma.
All right, Chi Psi Stigma is how you say 666 in the Greek. And when you go into that word stigma, all right, let's get it. That word stigma, Chi Psi Stigma, right? And when you go into the word stigma, the definition is what? A mark pricked in or branded upon the body. That's the nail in the coffin right there. When you go into that word stigma, 666 in the Greek is Chi Psi Stigma. And when you go into that word stigma, it says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. That's why it's good to go back into the original. That's how you get true understanding. To go into the Greek, man. A mark pricked in or branded upon the body. Come on, man. A mark pricked in or branded upon the body. So the elite's going to want to prick a mark in you. Brand a mark upon you, which is the RFID microchip. Watch the Aaron Russo interview he had with Alex Jones when he said that Nick Rockefeller told him that they want everyone chipped for complete control. All right, a mark pricked in or branded upon the body to ancient Oriental uses. Slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master. You see? Esau, Edom, you basically back, you nothing but a slave to Esau, Edom. If you take this chip, a complete slave. Slave and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master. And you're nothing but Esau, Edom's bitch if you take that microchip. You ain't nothing but his damn slave. All right? The stamp, it says slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into the bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. Yeah. All right? What was that thing that they used to brand the soldiers with? They put it on their ears, just like the cows they do. They put the tag on the cow's ears, right? It says into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. Yeah, so you're going to have people willingly line up, you know? Oh, yeah, I do it. Yeah, give me that chip. Right? The brainwashed dummies and zombies they are. All right? So you see? But let's go back for a second, all right? Let's read verse 16 again. All right, it says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So it doesn't even matter who you are. You could be rich, poor, free, slave, whatever. All right, this is going to come upon all the earth too. Like it says in Revelation, the 3rd chapter. It's known as the hour of temptation. This is what it boils down to. This is known as the hour of temptation in Revelation 3, the 10th verse. All right, and that's Yahushua that said that. All right, Yahushua is going to deliver us from the hour of temptation. All right, if we be of the elect. All right, you see how these words are in red? This is Yahushua speaking, the Messiah, right? It says, verse 10, Revelation 3 and 10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, meaning to do this work, right? Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, doing this work diligently, all right? Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. Yeah, because we fed the sheep. We did what we were commanded. Did not the Lord tell Peter 3 times? 3 times. He told Peter, he said, if you love me, feed my sheep. Right? It says, because we feed the sheep, man. We let them know that they're the true Israelites, the Negro, Latino, Native American, man. Right? We give them great knowledge and wisdom of the scriptures. We let them know many things. We go into the history. We feed the sheep, man. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. And that goes in also to that parable that Yahushua spoke about. All right, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I needed clothes, you gave me clothes. That was all a metaphor for doing this work. All right, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. The hour of temptation is when the mark of the beast, this RFID microchip, is made mandatory. It says, which shall come upon all the world. Yeah, because the elites want complete control of this earth, wants to enslave this entire world, right? It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And also is because, they know that Israelites are scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth. All right. And Esau, Edom, he's trying to bring as many Israelites down with him because he know that his time is short. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, starting with the elite bankers, the satanic Illuminati Jewish elite banking families. All right. They know that their rulership is coming to an end. That the Lord is getting ready to bring this man down. You see? But we are to be faithful unto death, man. Because a lot of people are going to have to die. Get beheaded for not taking the mark of the beast. But that's where the faith comes in, right? All right. Going to the last chapter. All right. What did Yahushua say? It says, verse 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Yeah, because when this mark of the beast is made mandatory, all right, those that don't want to take it are going to be taken into prison and thrown in concentration camps and holding cells. And, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, which is talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. He's the devil, right? The devil shall cast some of you into prison. It's not talking about a red man with horns and a pitchfork that's going to cast you into prison, man. No. It says the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Woo, that's an automatic crown. Dying for the name of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, his name and his word and the testimony of his word. His name, that's an automatic crown. The Lord said, be faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Woo! All right. All right. And the scriptures say that the prophets of the Lord, they love not their lives unto death. Hell no, man. Lord willing, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Ratazah, I am of the elect. The Lord puts that spirit upon me to say, F it, man. Take my damn head off, man. You know? It says, verse 11, he that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. All right, the second death is another phrase or another term for the lake of fire, which is America being swallowed and engulfed by nuclear destruction. America being completely eradicated and swept off the face of this earth in this third world war via nuclear destruction. All right, that's the second death, the lake of fire. All right, because if you take the MOTB, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, that's the punishment for it. To be swallowed and engulfed by the second death, to be swallowed and engulfed by nuclear destruction with America. But if you don't take it, all right, you are to die rather than to take it. You will not be hurt of the second death. All right. See, I'd rather get my head chopped off from not taking the mark of the beast than to take it, than to get burnt up in that nuclear destruction. Verse 10, the Lord said, the latter end of the 10th verse, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. All right. So if you don't take this mark of the beast, you're not going to be hurt of the second death. You're not going to get burnt up in that nuclear fire. You're not going to get swallowed up in that nuclear destruction when this place gets hit with nuclear missiles. All right. But if you do take the mark of the beast, what's the punishment for it? Let's get it. Revelation 14 and 9. All right. Revelation 14 and 9, it reads, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, which is the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip, right? So the scriptures is saying, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God. All right, you're going to drink the wine of the wrath of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, if you take that mark, all right, which is poured out without mixture. Woo, straight up, straight, no chaser, man. All right, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Indignation means righteous anger. All right, so you're going to drink the wine of the wrath of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. All right, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, into the cup of his anger. All right, his righteous anger. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. All right, so if you take that mark of the beast, you're going to be tormented, all right, with fire and brimstone, which is that nuclear destruction that's going to hit this place, America. All right, that's that fire and brimstone, the nuclear destruction. The lake of fire, all right, that's going to hit this place in this third world war. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which is the Messiah, Yahweh Shai. So the angels and Yahweh Shai, the Messiah, they just going to watch you burn. It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Woo! So the angels and the Lord just going to watch you burn, man. Shoot, the Lord is going to add unto that fire. He's going to add unto the nuclear destruction. When he comes back with the angels on chariots, which is what this world calls a UFO. Because there's going to be laser beams coming out them ships. All right? Concentrated laser beams of fire just burning everything up. All right? Let's also get that. That's in Luke. That's in the book of Luke. All right? Luke, the 12th chapter. All right? Luke 12 and 49. All right? Luke 12 and 49. This is what the Messiah said. Luke 12 and 49. I am come to send fire on the earth. All right? So it's not only the nuclear missiles that's going to burn America up. It's going to be the chariots that's doing damage too. Yahweh Shai and the angels that's doing damage too. All upon this earth, not just here in America, but all upon this earth. All right? But most definitely America. Because America's judgment is written in the scriptures. All right? It's prophecy for America to be completely eradicated and swept, obliterated from off the face of this earth. And it's never going to be inhabited ever again. All right? And it's only going to take 60 minutes, 1 hour for America to be destroyed. 60 minutes. I'll get that too. All right? Luke 12:49. I am come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it already be kindled? All right? So he's saying, imagine what I'm going to do if it's already on fire. Because when these nuclear missiles hitting this earth, that's when, that's the time of the Lord is going to come around. We crack that sky in half. When these nuclear missiles are being shot off. We're right here. We're about to see the return of Yahweh Shai, man. All right? I am come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it already be kindled? All right? Imagine what I'm going to do if it's already on fire. He just going to add unto it. All right? What was I going to get? All right? Oh, yeah. Revelation 18. All right? In 1 hour. All right? For in 1 hour is thy judgment come. All right? Where is it? Right here. It's talking about America. All right? It says, I'll just get straight to the point. Well, verse 9, you can see the subheading. It says, Lament for Babylon. All right? This entire chapter, all right, Revelation 18, is talking about America being destroyed. All right? As you see the top right here, the heading. All right? The title says, Babylon is fallen. All right? Babylon being America. All right? Is fallen. All right? America is going to be destroyed. This is a prophecy. All right? All right, and in verse 9, all right, the subheading starting at 9, it says, Lament for Babylon. All right, so when you go to verse 10, it says, Standing afar off for the fear of her. All right, the her is talking about America. All right, standing afar off for the fear of her torment. She's going to be tormented. All right, with fire and brimstone, nuclear destruction. All right, standing afar off. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, which is America, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. All right, Babylon, that mighty city, all right, which is America, all right, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. It's only going to take 1 hour for America to be destroyed. All right. Babylon, that mighty, because America is one giant city. All right, that's where you get the word citizen from. All right, a citizen is a member of the society of America, man. All right, so America is just one giant city, one giant place, man. You know. For in 1 hour is thy judgment come. You see? Only going to take 1 hour. And it says it 3 times in this chapter. It kept saying for in 1 hour, and 1 hour, and 1 hour. All right? For in 1 hour is thy judgment come. This whole chapter talking about America being destroyed, man. All right? Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, I love reading this chapter and breaking it down. All right, I can't see it right now. All right, verse 8 though. All right, this is a beautiful one. Therefore shall her plagues come in 1 day. All right, death and mourning and famine. Woo, that's all going to hit America, all right? And she shall be utterly burned with fire. Woo, all right, for strong is the Lord God, Yahweh the Most High, who judges her. Woo, all right? This place is done. America's finished, bro. America is finished, all right? So also when you go into verse 17, that's where it was at. It says, for in 1 hour, so great riches come to naught. All right. The word naught is the old English word for nothing. For it's going to end. All right. For in 1 hour, so great riches come to naught. Yeah, this great place, the so-called great place, people call America. All right, it's going to come to naught. It's going to end. It's going to be nothing. And it also says it in verse 19, right? It says, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, at last, that great city wherein were made rich, all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Woo! All right, that's where you get the word desert from, because that's what America's going to turn into, a desert. After this nuclear destruction, it's going to be a wasteland, and you're going to partake in that nuclear destruction if you take the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip. That's what the mark of the beast is. For certain and for sure, we tell you this, man. All right? The Israelites of Great Millstone and the ones that teach in like manner. You understand? So I'll leave it at that. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying or was edifying. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Raktazah, this lesson is or was edifying. All right? So with that being said, call Halalyam Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Quitash. All right, on to the next one. Shalom, shalom.